Kia ora whānau. Welcome to the Guna Hub. This is our aftershow of the game between the Arsenal and Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Before we begin, hit that like button, subscribe to
Please.
our channel. Love you guys. Hey man, how you going?
Good, bro.
Back in person. We've both been a little bit under the weather.
Under the weather. So we have to do it online, but back again in our studio slash dining room. yeah. But I mean, great, man. What a win.
What a win, what a performance. 4-0 away from home. 3 points, big 3 points. Couple of other teams dropped points, so it became even more important.
I mean, it's exactly the type of performance that we needed at this moment in time. And it's great to see that we sort of did the same against PSV, and then we're sort of done the same against Bournemouth, and these sort of teams that we should be sweeping away, we're kind of getting the goal ratio up. And better performances as well. I thought we were quite dominant. There was only like one team in it, and I think Bournemouth were quite a poor side. They didn't really offer anything going forward in their own team. I think David Raya was pretty much untested. Defenders brilliant, but they didn't have a lot to do. Attacking wise, you can look at the scoreline and go, we did a good job. 2 penalties in there. I mean, great wins for those penalties, man. I mean, I don't know what the hell those defenders are thinking for Bournemouth.
Both of them, mate.
They just came sliding in. They're sliding in from like nowhere. But I mean, it's a great performance. Great to see our players back. There was about 4 players that were doubts for this game, but all of them were there. Saka started, Rice started.
Saliba started.
And the big question mark between Raya and Ramsdale. Raya started. I was a bit surprised about that. But overall, very positive, and it's very good going into the Champions League game and the City next week. We got momentum building now. I mean, how do you feel about the game?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you've summed it up quite well.
Yeah, sorry, I talked about everything.
No, it's good. Another win, another clean sheet is the most important thing.
Away from home.
I felt like it sort of felt in patches like a training game. We bossed it like from start to finish. And you're right, like they never looked like they were going to get anything from the game. I was happy to see a clean sheet. Happy to see Havertz. But we'll get into all that stuff. And then the crowd as well. Amazing.
Oh man, amazing! How's that new champ, Havertz? Oh man, he's only scored 1 goal, but Havertz scores again.
So this exact fixture is when we had the Saliba chant.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
that's still like one of my favorite chants. This
one is
up there, man.
This one is very catchy. It's very catchy.
He just has to score again.
He has to score again, and then we'll sing it again. But I don't quite get it. He scores again and 60 minutes down the drain. And it's Waka Waka from like the 2010 South Africa World Cup.
It's a thing of beauty, man. You don't have to understand it.
For a German guy, but it's great. It's great. I mean, positives about the game.
I mean, like you talked about performances. I'm gonna give shout outs to like Rice. Man, that guy is a tank, and he's starting to like run with the ball, like drive at the other team's midfielders. He's too strong. He looks like a freaking tank coming at you. So it's kind of like, move, bro, get the hell out of the way when he gets the ball. And he's so good at winning the ball back. Like recovery tackles. He's just always there, always winning it. Rice for me was outstanding. You talked about Raya or Ramsdale. I feel like David Raya, he's sort of justifying why he's getting selected. In that Tottenham game, he was a little bit shaky, but I felt like our whole team was shaky, right? In this game, he's got so much courage, to play those passes, those penetrating passes. I think that's the biggest difference between him and Ramsdale. He does take that risk, but then sometimes risks can mean you concede or you look like an egg. But we especially in games like this, and we talked about teams having low blocks, whatever. I mean, Bournemouth had none of that, but like,
surprisingly,
but he's really good at moving the ball.
He's very calm,
and when he's at the back, like he's he's our keeper. Our back four seem to be more organized.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. Like we've had 3 clean sheets out of the 4 games he started.
Yeah, and it's a good point. And I also think his positioning as a keeper when the centre backs or when the full backs have the ball is a key difference as well, I think, between him and Ramsdale.
Yeah.
Because he always positions himself where he can receive and still have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes I feel like Ramsdale, maybe when he's in a position to receive the ball, it's not in the best position. So when he gets it, there's usually always someone close proximity to shut him down. Or his touch leads him into like, it really scares you because he takes a touch into a space where someone can shut him down. Whereas David Raya is a bit different.
Yeah.
He tends to move in extreme positions in the box and extreme ends, and I think that really helps. And another clean sheet for him.
He's just really, really comfortable and confident on the ball. Like, he waits for the attackers to press him, whereas Ramsdale's kind of like, looks a little bit nervy.
Yeah.
Probably saves wise they're the same. The way Ramsdale talks and organizes probably the same. It's just that's the big difference.
And it's great. I think we have 2 great keepers, and I think as long as we keep
both happy,
I think as long as you keep rotating them maybe and keeping them sharp is going to be the key. And your point on Rice, what a player. I mean, he can do it all. The only thing he hasn't done is maybe like score a goal or get an assist, but man, like what you want from a midfielder, he's it. And you know how we keep talking about the hole that Granit Xhaka has left. I can't wait for Partey to be back, and hopefully he can stay fit, and hopefully, or even play Jorginho or Partey, someone else in the 6 role, and let Rice play in the 8 role, because I think he's going to be absolutely terrific there.
Yeah.
And shout out to our defenders, Saliba and Gabriel again.
Oh yeah, awesome.
Man,
Brilliant.
I have to say Saliba's world class.
But yeah, we've established that, but like he proves it every week. Man.
Yeah, I mean, like you can still say he's young, he's still got a lot to prove, but man, he is absolutely world class. What he does,
we've got a player on that.
No one can run past him, and he's just so smart. He's so intelligent,
and he makes smart challenges. Like even in the box, like if he's sliding, he knows he's gonna win the ball. He's not gonna. He hardly gives away fouls.
Hardly ever. Yeah.
Hardly gets carded. Awesome player, man.
Yeah,
and shout out to White too. Yeah. I thought he had a good game. I thought he did. I mean, he got a goal too.
He got a brilliant goal.
Our right hand. I mean, like that
right side.
is something.
Saliba, man. White, and Saka, and Odegaard.
Yeah, especially when they all come and
the whole side
we have triangles
locked on that right side. And I think it's a little bit different on the left because then he sort of inverts, and then Gabriel has to cover 2 spaces for his own space and Zinni's space.
But that's why when Martinelli plays, we are all good on that side because he's just a workhorse.
Up and down there,
He doesn't even need a left back.
You're absolutely right. And I think, but that's the difference between left and right is that Saliba needs to cover his own position, whereas Gabriel has to cover 2.
Yeah.
But again, our defender's superb. Odegaard superb.
Yeah.
The only, what do you think about Havertz?
I thought he had a good game. I mean, like he is showing every week he's improving. And this game again, like he worked hard.
He definitely works hard.
Or really good at winning the ball back. Really good. He's really smart. Makes really smart runs. We've talked about all this, and he just showed that again.
Yeah.
I think the goal and the way the fans reacted is gonna we probably didn't see the best of. We didn't see the best of him. We've seen him dominate games for Chelsea in the past. I think it's a confidence thing. Yeah. And it's great to see the crowd getting behind him.
For sure.
I think he's going to come right. But
hopefully, this boosts him. And man, his penalty finish, what a superb penalty. The way he did it, the confidence with which he slotted that into the corner. And the way he's looking at the keeper the whole time.
Yeah.
We often say with Havertz, he looks like he's a player that's not confident. That did not look like someone who's not confident.
Yeah. It's not easy, you haven't scored for over 20 games or something in the Premier League, and then he gets a chance, it's a thing for Odegaard, great work to say, hey, look, bro, go and take this penalty.
An absolute show of class.
Yeah. And that's why he's our captain.
Superb understanding by Odegaard to give him the penalty in that moment and to say, look, bro, this is your chance. Now we're giving it to you. You step up and you put it away.
And he goes and does it. And you can see like what it means to the whole team as well. I think he's already built great relationships
with everyone. Everyone came over to give him the old slap in the head.
He's a nice bloke, you can tell. And you know, he has actually added a different dimension to our play. But yeah, it's just, you know, he's always going to have people on his back as long as he's not scoring and assisting, because that's what we bought him for, you know. So I thought he had a good game. I wouldn't like. I felt like Rice was probably my man of the match.
For me too, yeah.
But
Rice.
Havertz was.
It's probably a really good confidence booster for him.
Yeah.
And you know, overall we had a really positive display. Everything was positive, you know, in that game. But I have a little bit of a few negatives on my end. Havertz scored, superb. He put in a shift, superb. He puts in more of a shift every week in terms of how hard he works, and I think that's why Arteta chooses him. But I don't think he had it's another game gone by where I can't really put my finger on why we've bought him when there were much better options out there. And it's another game gone by where he hasn't really picked it up by the scruff of the neck, especially with the team against Bournemouth. You know, that didn't really offer anything against us. This is another one of those games where you think this is the type of games where Havertz can be a little bit more free, explore a little bit more, make those runs, have those goals and assists. And, you know, if it wasn't for the penalty, it would have been another game gone by where he wouldn't have had a goal or an assist. You know, and that's my only thing with Havertz at the moment, is just that he's still not grabbing any of the games by the scruff of the neck, and it's really hard to see, you know, why we've purchased him or why we're starting him. But, you know, hopefully he kicks on. I've still got faith. And he's still got, you know, we still have to give him time, I guess. My other negative is that we scored 4 goals, but I didn't think we really threatened attacking-wise.
No, that's what I was thinking too. Like, I felt like we weren't on them the whole game, right? We just kind of kept the ball. We knew we were going to keep the ball, and we just sort of just controlled the game. Like, people like Eddie and Jesus, you would think, you know, they'd be wanting the ball more, wanting to score more goals. And in a game like this, which, you know, it could have been anything, because let's be honest, Bournemouth is awful right now. You know, and we played better. I mean, we knew we were going to win the game from the start, I reckon. I think the game was won before it even started. But, like, you're right. Why aren't we being more dangerous? Why aren't we looking more dangerous?
There should have been a game. There should have been
creating more chances.
There should have been 8-0. The way they were playing, and, you know, you make a good point. It was a really controlled performance, and we really controlled the game. But attacking-wise, our front three, I didn't think really we did anything. Eddie, Saka was good, but Saka, Eddie, and Jesus, for the way the game was going, they should have, especially after 3-0, we should have seen a few more goals. We should have seen them in the box hitting it. Jesus did miss, you know, but it's another game where, like, we weren't flowing attacking-wise. Our front three weren't really potent.
No.
You know,
Nketiah again doesn't get on the score sheet.
Yeah, another game for Eddie where I thought
we scored 2 penalties. Like, you know, didn't really create much. One was from a freaking free kick.
Yeah, so from open play we only scored 1.
Yeah,
1 goal.
And that too was like a, you know, off the post and a tap in for, you know, a head in for Saka.
Yeah, I mean,
it wasn't like a clear cut opened up. We fully opened them up.
Yeah, I mean, just on that Saka goal, I've noticed one thing about Saka in the last, you know, this season, is that he has a real instinct for knowing where the ball's going to drop, and it's come into his game this season. I love it, because even the last week when he scored, it was him running into the position where a dangerous position where the ball might drop, and he has this real instinct for it. And, you know, we've lacked that, because every time we have a moment like that, there's no one in the right position to score. So it's great to see Saka doing that.
You would think that that's something Nketiah would do, like a fox in the box. But, you know, he seems to just not be there when we have, like, position in, like, the final third. Like, you know,
he's never in the right position, which is weird, because he used to be in the right position.
I don't know.
But he's kind of dropped off. I think it's a confidence thing with him as well. I think he's lost his own confidence to sort of be in the right place. He gets most of his chances by, you know, really shutting down players, or like on the press.
You can't fault his work ethic and the way he tries to press and win the ball for us. Can't fault that, but
he worked incredibly hard.
Yeah, he did.
And you can see, and it's weird because he's working for a good 80 minutes plus with the way the intensity that he works with. It's surprising he doesn't get tired faster than he does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think we offered anything from our front three. And also another sort of, it's a negative with the changes that Arteta makes. The positive of that is that he's making the same sort of changes. You see Tommy coming on, you see Reece coming on, you see Jorginho coming on, and I think it's really good for the squad and really good for those players because they adapt easier because they know their role and they're doing it more often, so they're not coming into it cold. But the negative I have is the players that he's taking off. He took off Eddie and he took off Rice. He took off.
He didn't take off Saka. He took off Jesus.
No, Jesus played. But yeah, I mean, my thing is that after we scored 3 goals, the first change he made, he took Eddie off, and I was just like, why would you not take Saka off? Who he kind of faded away, and he's just coming back from a little knock. He's not quite fit.
More knocks in this game too.
Yeah, and then he was getting knocked up in the game, and then what happens? He gets injured. He's hobbled, and it's just like it was a bit of a scare because that little moment where he's hopping around, and he couldn't walk, and I was just like, oh no, I hope this is not going to mean that he's out now for like a week or two because we got City coming up next week, and that's the only gripe I have with Arteta and his changes is the personnel that he's taking off. But
Yeah, but what did you think of the subs that came? I thought Smith Rowe he looks good. He's unlucky not to get a goal. I reckon a couple of good saves. But see,
he missed one. He missed a real good one.
Yeah, but that one that he got through. Yeah, but Smith Rowe offers that. He's looking like he did a couple of years ago. He's running at defenses. He's finding pockets, and that's. I feel like very soon he's going to be one of those ones. We'll be like, why isn't he starting?
Yeah, I think so too.
And it's good, good to have that, especially with Martinelli injured at the moment. And yeah, just having Smith Rowe back is good to see. I think he offers a lot more than what Eddie does. As well.
I mean, it's superb. I love Emil Smith Rowe. I think everyone in the fan base does, and it's great to see him back. And hopefully, maybe by the next international break, after we come back, we're having a conversation about him starting. He looks like he's just maybe a pace or two off at the moment. That miss was horrible. I'm not gonna lie.
Just needs minutes.
Yeah, I think so.
But then the second shot was good. It's just the keeper.
And Reece as well. He's another boy that looks sharp. He looks ready to start. Surprised he doesn't start, but
Yeah, I mean, we talked about having Gabriel playing out wide. I think that's another sort of negative. Is I don't know, there was times where at City his best performances were from
out wide. Yeah,
but for us.
It's down the middle.
Yeah,
hands down.
Yeah, you have to play your best number 9 in the number 9 role.
Like we said before, we were losing out on 2 positions if you play Gabby out wide.
Yeah.
I would rather play Eddie out wide if he has to play both of them because at least Eddie works hard. He's going to work up and down. But we can't complain when you win 4-0.
No, you can't.
Those are just little things, I guess.
Overall, really good performance from everyone. And it's great to get 3 points.
Jorginho and Tommy, sorry. Jorginho and Tommy again.
Yeah.
Coming in, Jorginho was fine. Tommy, again, brilliant.
Yeah.
He looks more and more ready to start out of all the subs that
it's good to see even everyone that's not starting looking sharp. Which is a really, really good positive.
Looks like they're there to prove something.
Yeah, we've got a team sitting out there that if someone's injured, they can jump in, and it'll be interesting to see when in a few weeks when everyone's back,
everyone's fit, everyone's sharp. Who do you start? But otherwise great performance. Next up, Lawns
still unbeaten,
champion. Yeah, that's a good point.
In the Premier League.
Yeah.
Oh, actually.
All competitions,
at the moment. So
I think we're the only team that's unbeaten in all comps. So yeah, I mean it's great. Lons, Champions League.
Yep, another big game, big Champions League night coming up.
Let's
Looking
see.
forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see who's fit. When in a few days. But yeah, come on, you Gunners.
Come on, you Gunners.